vendo você de blusa de novo. Tá frio
Tá
hoje, hein?
frio aqui. Tá frio, ó. Frente fria pegou com força aqui hoje. Fui levar as
Exatamente.
crianças na escola de manhãzinha, tava parecendo aquele filme de terror, só neblina, assim.
Cara, eu
Névoa.
particularmente tenho uma memória muito boa com neblina e eu falo pra minha esposa, eu amo ver neblina, cara. Acho muito lindo, um efeito natural aí que é bem encantador, apesar de dar essa impressão realmente assustadora, confesso com você.
É.
Exato, exato. Rodrigo, antes da gente começar aqui, então, com a nossa convidada que já está aguardando, os anúncios, né, tradicionais aqui, eu vou colocar o primeiro
YouTube.
sobre o YouTube, né? Quem não puder assistir a live aqui no LinkedIn Live, pode assistir no YouTube depois. Aqui eu estou devendo, a gente está devendo, na verdade, o grupo do WhatsApp em o IQS, né?
Fazer um link mais curto, né?
Link mais curto, mas quem quiser,
Uhum.
chama a gente aqui no privado, a gente compartilha, certo? A gente também tem aí a parceria, né, Rodrigo, do Identity Management Institute,
Uhum.
que
O
é um
IMI,
centro.
né? Que a gente tem um voucher aí de $20 para quem quiser fazer algum dos cursos deles. Tem, claro, gente, cursos online. É um conteúdo bem bacana aí para quem quiser. E só tá válido até o fim do mês, né, Diego? Só até dia 31, dia 30, né? Esse mês tem dia 30.
Até o final do mês,
Até o final do mês.
aproveitem. É uma plataforma muito boa, agnóstica
Uhum,
a player. Eles fazem menção, sim, né, para poder
uhum,
ter as referências, mas quem quer realmente aprender identidade na sua
uhum.
essência, uma boa fonte de conteúdo. O que você acha?
Isso aí, também acho. Acho que o pessoal. Bom investimento aí para fazer, para quem tá na carreira de IAM, que é o que a gente vai falar hoje, né? Então, eu tô aqui me preparando para IAM e os empregos. Onde estão os jobs, né? Isso a gente vai falar hoje.
Exatamente, exatamente. E para falar sobre carreira, a gente vai começar com uma pessoa que internacionalmente está tendo
Uhum,
bastante sucesso, ajudando muitas companhias internacionais, profissionais internacionais, a se estabelecer nessa carreira. E ela,
uhum.
de maneira muito proativa, aqui, de maneira muito solícita, atendeu o nosso pedido e vai trazer insights para a gente,
Isso
que
aí.
é Katerina.
E uma coisa que eu queria comentar, que a gente não contou nas outras, essa sessão de hoje vai ser em inglês, né? A Katerina, nossa convidada, vai falar inglês. Mas no LinkedIn tem um recurso de closed caption. Então, para quem talvez tem problema com o listening, né, com a escuta no inglês, ativa o recurso de closed caption do LinkedIn, que ele vai trazer as legendas em inglês, em tempo real, que às vezes é mais fácil você ler, né? E acompanhar com a gente.
Exatamente, exatamente. Então, without further ado, let me add Katerina. And also before,
E...
yeah, agora something, let me do the applause first, yeah. Yeah.
Welcome.
I wanted to say hola a todos. This is the only thing I can
Look
say.
at you.
But to be honest, I was waiting for my time to appear and I was admiring how you are speaking. This is one of my favorite languages that I don't know, and that is on my list. And when I will master my German, this will be the next.
Okay, but you start very well. Olá, bom dia. It's the best way
Todos,
to start, for sure.
But I'm limited here. This is the only thing that I know.
But it's a good start. Just keeping that in mind, okay? By the way, thank you so much for joining us this session. Rodrigo and I, we are so excited, so thrilled to have you here this morning. In Portuguese, we are saying that this session is going to be English, 100%. So everyone that would like to follow us, to understand better the communication, they can just enable the subtitle and follow the session. Right, Rodrigo?
Yeah, exactly. And again, thank you so much for being with us here. We have been running this series of interviews and conversations with IM professionals to bring some concepts for the Brazilian market and for the Brazilian professionals, but most of all, to really make people understand that EIM is a good career to pursue, and we try to close this gap that we see today that there are not enough IAM professionals in Brazil or Latin America. And We're very excited to have you here because your experience as a recruiter in this IAM space, I think that will be very valuable for the folks here to listen to you and understand what the companies are looking for, how is the market now, what are the opportunities around.
Thank you for inviting me. To be honest, I'm really flattered.
Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, can you introduce yourself in your own words, like who is Katerina, what you like to do, and how you got to this IAM world?
How I got it. This is an interesting story. Like, yeah, my name is Katerina. People can call me Katya as well in my community, in my network. Originally, I'm from Russia. And basically, I spent around 14 years in IT recruitment all in all. So it was just general IT recruitment. I was specializing mainly on mobile, iOS, and Android, and was pretty successful there. And to be honest, it wasn't like pure my decision to switch to IAM. The market pushed me there. I was back then working in Germany, and 2022 came. And big tech wave hit. Amazon, Google, Bosch, other big techs started massive layoff people. So a lot of thousands of developers were on the market. I don't know how it was. I think that it was worldwide. It was global wave. So a lot of developers were on the market, and the company, like developers that will never consider a mid-sized company, they started applying everywhere. And then the startups were closing because rising interest rate killed their finding rounds. So there was nothing to do for IT recruiter, to be honest. And I was thinking, what should I do here? Where to look? And then I found cybersecurity, the only field that didn't collapse. I think that it is because companies couldn't afford just to cut security teams and not to be all around. I started looking inside. And then I found identity and access management. And I've chosen this because at this point, when I needed to start from scratch, I wanted to find something that was easier to understand from the beginning on. And identity, we know, like, it's easy to understand from the surface, at least. We all log in, we all reset passwords, we all know this frustration going, these loops with authentication apps. We all use identity, but we don't call it identity. So I started identity, and for me, it was interesting because at this period of time, identity wasn't so loud. It was really a quiet niche, wasn't so popular. So it was easy to go because the concurrence was pretty low there. But on the other hand, there were not a lot of jobs, but enough for me. So it was good to start there. I gained experience, I gained network, and then right now, for sure, we see that identity is the coolest kid on the playground. And I'm happy that the now market pushed me there in 2022, and I already get the network, I get the experience there, I could go deeper. While going deeper, step by step, and growing my network, I understood that basically the community is not so big, and the community is pretty tight. The community is pretty hungry for connections. And I found that IAMmeet is not only like my agency of recruitment for identity and access management, it is as well a community that I'm building in Germany. And we're making meetups, we're meeting together, we're exchanging. So I started making a small infrastructure like blog posts, groups, meetups, etc. And I feel like it has a certain positive feedback from the people who are connecting, who are meeting together, exchanging the knowledge. So basically how I landed on identity.
Yeah, and then also you mentioned that about the community. I totally agree with you. The community is still not a big community if you compare to others like AI developers, all these real communities around the world. But if we realize, if you really pay attention to the community about AIM, the reality is every single IT professional knows a little bit about identity. A small piece, like you said, authentication, authorization, Active Directory. So everyone had in some moment to deal with some identity credential issue, which, but no one was paying attention into the identity as a career, as a sector itself, right?
Yeah, nobody thought it will be so popular. Nobody thought it is a massive. Everybody thought it is a piece of something, but right now it's a certain industry with a lot of actually divisions of the industry. We have this identity and governance administration. We have as well privilege identity. So we have even like inside identity, some parts that you can focus on.
Yeah. And you decided to start the AIM hiring as a company.
Yeah, it was IM hiring. Basically, it was when I started with a business partner, but it's something that I started with. But we came apart because of some reasons, and I decided to go with the same direction and founded IM Meet. Right now, I have a company and a community called IM Meet.
That's good. Sure. And this connected to my first question. Actually, Rodrigo, please, I'll let you do the first question.
So, no, I did already. But
we can check how tun tun tun.
Yeah.
In Portuguese, we call that dois ou
Yeah.
But
rock, scissors, paper, right?
Yeah, it's like rock, scissors, paper, exactly. So I think my first question is, what do you see today in the IM marketing that's, how to say, it's building up and is the cool kid on the block that most of the professionals still don't realize?
Let me start with obvious thing that most professionals do realize, because I've written recently a certain piece. I've written 2 pieces of articles for Copenhagen Call, and I hope Diego will share the links on them. And because I've done, I've invested there a lot, and there are some pieces of data that I will love to refer to. So for the first article, we analyzed 10,000 of open positions for identity and access management professionals in Germany.
Wait. You said 10,000?
10,000.
Wow.
Right now it's more. It was in the beginning of 2026, in the beginning of this year. The article was published in February. So we analyzed 10,000 open positions on Stepstone, and then it was only for Germany, but I think it's pretty applicable for global market. And then we mapped it with who can be placed for this, how we can cover those positions. And we realized that 77.6% of the positions are for seniors and architects. And we checked how many seniors and architects we have on the market. And literally for each position, we have a half of the person, just a half, 105. And then we realized that these people are not open for opportunities in many cases, and means that they are already occupied. And if they will leave their positions, means that they will empty and produce a new opening. And basically, if we will be realistic, then we have 25 or 30% of a person for one position. So this is a great shortage. I think everybody knows about that we have shortage of experienced professional on the market. But what people are not referring to, what people are not seriously addressing right now, is that we don't have enough opportunities for junior professionals. So junior professionals would have pretty a lot, but I think that there was only among this 10,000, only 500 openings for junior position, for junior professionals. And so the big question right now that I see, what we are going to do tomorrow, if we don't give enough of opportunities for junior professionals to develop their skills. I mean, I understand where it's coming from. The market of identity is not mature yet globally. Why we're not doing it? Because we're not doing identity because we want to do, because we know it's important. In many cases, we're doing because we need to align to the regulations we have. Because if not, we will receive a punishment. And in order to do this, we need already established professionals who can solve all our problems from day one. And we don't then have time to invest money in juniors. But what would be tomorrow? Senior professionals will retire, will burn out, will go to management position, leadership. Who will still be an individual contributor? Who will step nobody knows. So there is no opportunity for junior to develop themselves. And this is, I think, a biggest problem that we are not addressing right now seriously, but we will face with it in some time, definitely. This is the thing. The second thing that I want to highlight, I think that this is as well obvious thing, and everybody is actually noticing that. I don't know why I want to tell it right now, but AI is changing everything. AI is changing basically all the fields and all the, not only identity, but for identity, it makes changes inside and outside. So if we're looking outside, we receive new issues. We're dealing with new threats. We are dealing with AI agents. We're dealing with non-human identities. That is super trendy right now. If we're going to inside, AI is transforming how the work is done. We do have this automated assess reviews, AI reports, anomaly detection, AI provisioning, etc., etc. So AI is already helping us to do the job. And if professionals are not adapting to these changes, they probably won't have an advantage on the market. So I see that AI is definitely changing the AI from inside and outside for sure. And identity and access management that it was in 2022 is no longer like it is in 2026 right now. It's just completely different.
It is totally different. I totally agree with you. By the way, Rodrigo and I, we shared your article that I just put in the chat here, like in the as a banner in your community in Brazil about AIM is having a moment right now, and we agree. AI is impacting the sector, the technology, and also the careers. So everyone now should know a little bit of the AI. The market is expecting professional not to be expert in AI, but to be at least how AI works, how AI connects, how to plug into AI tool, how to to leverage the AI architecture. And AIM is not is not out of this impact, and totally agree. To this point specifically, we have seen like different parts, or it's better to say different specializations inside of AIM, right? We have seen like PAN, IGA, CIM, Customer Identity Access Management. Which one inside of identity space do you think that's most demand right now?
It's lagging a bit, but I understood the question. Yay, you are here. You were a bit freezy. Okay, I understood the question. You are asking like what is right now trendy, what is growing. But let me first basically start with not this how to say division, this parts of IAM, IGA, PAM, what we have like a lot of things. Let me start with different things, because I would refer to my first article that I posted, like probably Diego was as well share it, is not this, I have another one, the longer one, this big one. So where I analyzed this 10,000 positions in Germany, and what we were doing as well when analyzing the tools itself that are listed in these positions. And even 2024, we have the winner of everything, Microsoft and Entra ID, because Microsoft accounts were everywhere, and as well the security and IAM was as well taken from Microsoft, because I think that they were offering it from the beginning free of charge, I think. If we're analyzing 2025, we have still Microsoft the leader, but it lost 21%. Right now, we have 68% of the jobs that were listing Entra ID, and who've taken interesting part, who've taken these pieces of the cake on the market. Those were Cellpoint, Okta, and CyberArk. So Cellpoint, Okta, CyberArk. Right now, let's refer to this these directions like PAM, IGA, SIAM. I think all of them are growing. I can't right now give you numbers because I wasn't researching the data so far. I can't right now refer to the data or analysis or like numbers. But what I can say, why it is growing and why it will be trendy on the market for like next, I think 5-10 years, 100%. Because first of all, EGA is regulated by frameworks in majority of countries. In Germany, it's NIS2 and DORA. The regulators says to us that we need to have EGA in place. That means that these positions will exist definitely to align with regulations. And the leader of the market is SailPoint. Then Omada is the second one, and I think Savient is growing trendy there. If we go to PAM is right now expanding their authority, expanding the task it offers, because right now it's not only admin rights and managing admin rights. We right now include their cloud workloads, we include the DevOps pipelines, and what else is AI agents that are as well included, and means that PAM is transforming. And we will definitely need PAM specialists who has this kind of skills dealing with non-human identities, AI agents, and development DevOps workflows. CIM as custom identity or consumer identity, mainly growing in custom identity side. Why? Because like it wasn't really popular before, it wasn't really growing before, but it's starting growing, I think, in 2025 and 26 because of three basically big fields driving it. It's fintech that is growing right now, especially on trading, investment platforms are growing with users, scaling users. We have e-commerce scaling and e-health sector that is scaling. And everywhere where we need to manage custom identities at scale, we need customer identity and access management. And here we have as well two leaders. Those are SailPoint and O0 by Okta. And then we have two newborns, basically, that is not highlighted there. The newborns were, they appeared in 2025. They are less than 1 year right now. Those are ETDR, Identity Threat Detection and Response. And NHA government is non-human identity government. They are right now really grabbing attention more and more. As a separate positions, we can find them as a separate jobs posting or embedded in some other job posting, like they can be together mixed with other jobs. So this is what I see on the market.
Awesome. Rodrigo, cheer.
Yeah, no, on top of the technical skills, because when you talk about jobs in IT, that is always the technical knowledge that you need to have. But what do you think that differentiates a top professional in identity and access management beyond the technical skills? So what are like the soft skills that really make the difference for a professional?
Blue eyes, blonde hair. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Speak Portuguese if you know Portuguese.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Basically, I think those are the skills that are applicable for all the fields, like IT, probably other fields. But there is one that is applicable and specifically needed for identity and access management and cybersecurity, and this is regulatory compliance fluency. I mean, when you know frameworks and when you can explain, I mean, to your CISO how your identity and access management decisions are compliant with regulations, you have a lot of advantages here, definitely.
Oh, that's sorry. Let me pause you for a second, because I think that's a really valid point. Like in European market, you have GDPR, and I imagine that a lot of the actions that you need to do, it's because of GDPR. And in Brazil, we do have a similar law that we call LGPD. So what I say is that if you, as a professional, you have fluence in the regulatory space, GDPR, LGPD, frameworks like COVID, that would be a huge differentiator.
Yes, 100%, because then you can explain the reason why we need to do this or this. You can say, hey, we are referring to this kind of regulation. We are referring to this kind of framework. We are obliged to do this. And then when you have this fluency, you can just easily assess the situation, assess the problem, and offer a solution, because you know what is needed, basically. Second thing is applicable, I think, for all the niches, communication that translates, basically, their opportunity to explain to non-technical people, to stakeholders, why, for instance, PAM rollout will need 4 months and not 4 weeks. this will help you to to get budgeting for the things you are looking for. This will help you to convince people for the things, for your decisions, and this will help you definitely to convince that you are a professional and expert of what you are doing on the interviews. So you need to explain to non-technical recruiter, non-technical stakeholder, non-technical partner why you need to do the things and what are you doing and what is standing behind this.
Awesome.
This is important. And one more thing I think is really, really important. I would name it ownership or the consultant instinct. When you are not only handled the work, you are not only waiting for the task in Jira to appear, you can come, assess, and offer solutions. So this is really important when you can take an end-to-end ownership and you can perform as a consultant. You can come, you can understand what is not working, explain it, offer solution and start working on this rather than just sit and wait for someone giving you tasks to execute. This is as well making a big difference for professionals.
Okay, Rodrigo, I'll let you go the next one also because you're gonna have it.
Yeah, I have a hard stop in a couple of minutes. And what are the common mistakes that you see the professionals do when they position themselves? Like not investing in the LinkedIn profile, or I don't know, not learning a second language. Yeah, so what are the most common mistakes? Yeah, there are a lot, I know.
Please feel free.
Okay, let's start with probably listing of tools instead of telling the story. We have like CyberArk, SailPoint, Amada, all the tools is there as well, but nobody's tell what you have done with that. Like what you did actually do. Was it immigration from A to B? What is implementation from scratch? Did you design a role model from zero? Did you onboard 150 applications in 6 months? What you have done? So this is really important. Then as well, I would say probably positioning yourself as a specialist, not as a generalist, is how I get to the identity and access management market. I see so many CVs that emphasize that has a lot of certification there, a lot of tooling, but nothing deep. So I would not go wide, I will go deep and gain experience in the certain tool. And that will make obvious that you are an expert in this tool, that you are an expert in the certain direction, that you like, it's rather to hear not identity and access management professional, but for instance, SailPoint professional for regulatory companies or for banking companies. This will give you your particular audience, and this will make it clear that you can solve certain problems, that you are an expert in certain field. And basically, again, ownership. A lot of CVs that I see, a lot of interviews that I've heard are hiding ownership and me behind the team, behind we. It's we framing. It's like taking part in when hiring manager is hiring you, they're hiring specifically you and not the team, right? And he needs to know what was your specific contribution, what you have been done, because like I think it's probably how we were raised, and we're a bit shy to say like we, but it's important. It's important to say and to differentiate what you have been done, what was your specific contribution, what were your specific achievements in LinkedIn profile, in CV, and when you are presenting yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's a great point. And that's something that I had to learn over time also, because I always try to say, hey, we did that. And like my former manager would say, it's you. What you drove, what you delivered, what was your action, what was your impact. So, and I think that's a very valid point from most of the.
I have a really nice formula for this. What was the problem? How you solved it? What was the outcome? This is actually the basic, really nice formula how you can present yourself, how you present yourself on CV, on the interview, on the facts, not wide, but deep in detail, what you have done, what problem you have solved, what was the outcome of this.
Yeah, that's great. Guys, sorry, I have to drop. I was loving the conversation. Katerina, it's very nice to meet you, but you're in good hands with Diego. And I will check the recording later. Thank you so much.
And I wish you a very good luck on your next meeting.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
You said one thing that if you don't mind, I'd like to just touch again on one specific point that you said about your point related to the professionals. One of the mistakes is how to sell the professional, how to sell the person. They usually start to sell about the tools they are using, they are usually to work with, but they are not usually to sell how or what were the delivers. So do you think that it's a chicken and egg problem? Like the company don't know how to open the position and let clear the mission, the target of the professional, and let the candidate confuse how to sell them to the company? What is the answer
The solution.
between that? Yeah.
There is no answer. Basically, a lot of mistakes are done in the hiring, on the hiring manager stage. A lot of mistakes are done by the candidates who are wrongly presenting themselves and positioning themselves, basically. But I would say that you need to start every time with yourself. So if you're not targeting all the positions on the market, you need to start with yourself and think, hey, what I'm looking for, what is interesting for me, where I want to say I'm an expert. And then when you start from this, you definitely find the company that is looking specifically for you, for your skill. You don't need the company who is looking for all-arounder, who can do everything in IAM, who has all the certifications. Why? Then they need 10 people.
I see.
And you will never be an expert then.
Yeah. I mean, you can spend hours, days, months working, and that's that tool you're gonna receive a lot of new improvements, a lot of new features. That I agree with you. Let me switch the gears a little bit to another area inside of this AIM space. You said that you have analyzed the more than 10,000 opportunities open in Germany, right? I don't see all these 10,000 opportunities filled in short term, like how to hire 10,000 people in Germany to fill all the positions. It's almost impossible, right? How do you see the market open, the companies open to remote workers from other countries like Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, to work remotely for this company to help them to fill these 10,000 positions?
This is complicated. Especially my expertise is lying in German market, and Germany is not really ready to this. Why? Because in main cases, identity and access management specialists, they are needed for big corporations and big organizations who can afford identity and access management team, or for consultancy companies. So English-speaking positions are opened only in international big organizations that are looking for internal professionals, probably, but it's like really rare. On the market, you will find more consultancy positions, and consultancy positions are serving multiple clients in Germany. And to be universal, they're looking for somebody who can be applicable for multiple projects. And in Germany means that you need to speak German. So it's like really, really complicated. I would say right now, more than 80% of positions open on the German market are looking for German speakers. And only 20 or 15 positions, mainly in Munich, Hamburg, I think, and Berlin, in big companies where we have startups or big global corporations, big companies, they consider English speakers. Sadly, Germany is a bit hard market for going internationally, but we have so many English-speaking countries. I mean, we have UK which is growing. We have Canada, which is growing. We have Australia, which is growing. We have a lot of markets which is growing in identity, to be honest. So Germany is as well looking for English speaking, but less. So you can imagine, like, we have less than 2,000 positions on the market for English speakers.
Okay. I agree with you. Beyond the technical experience, beyond the local experience, another language is important right now, right? Like English, like you said, is the international language, but sometimes for Germany market, language is important, right? I'm assuming that the same happens in French, in Japan. So of course the English is important, but maybe the second step is not to learn only English, is to learn a third language, like the local language, right?
I hope probably this barrier would be covered by AI soon or less.
I
Like
hope
we will
so.
have certain devices that will help us to communicate, because like learning language is even more complicated than learning IAM. It's like to be fluent on the language, you need several years of practicing that. And then like it's indeed complicated. To have the language skills is a great advantage. And if you have a German language skill, is a great advantage for Germany. But I would say if you are looking outside of your country, English fluency is their floor, is non-negotiable borderline where you need to speak fluent English. This is the very first thing you need if you are considering outside of the country opportunities, because it's like the one language to communicate.
Yeah, okay. And it connected automatically with my next question, for someone, that is looking for advice to grow internationally or even local in the same country. What is your first advice, the second advice to help the person to find the path? What is the next step about after the technical or even the language? Like, should they enroll me in a school, in IAM training, or what is your advice for continued growth journey?
Basically, let's start with the first thing, because they could be two different advices. If we're looking outside of the country, then we need to have something that would be that can travel with you outside of the country. And first of all, we're talking about communication skills, and I will highlight it once again. English is super important. I was speaking with a lot of candidates from Brazil, to be honest, for a certain international project, and not a lot of people were speaking really fluent English. So there were some cases with rusty. Please master your English in school and university. This is super important.
It is.
Then, second, if we're talking about identity and access management, there are a lot of vendors that are used all over globally. And if you have certifications with these vendors, this would be, you don't need to translate it. This would be a super green signal, green flag for the hiring manager in any country. If you have SailPoint certificate for architect or CyberArk Guardian or Okta certified professional, if you have the certificate in place, means that you passed it, means that you have the skill, and this would be already the certain green flag for the hiring manager that you can use easily in different countries. And as well, I would say until you are Ronaldo and until everybody is talking about you, you need to speak about yourself, basically. You need to take this task, because when you're speaking in the interview, only the company will know about you. When you do something within your company, only your company will know about you. If you want to look globally, you need to be a bit loud, to contribute to community discussions, to meet people on the meetup, to go to the conference, to speak there, to publish something on LinkedIn, to publish something on some open blog accounts on what you have been doing, so people can know what you are doing. It's not like it will definitely be more visible as your CV, because then people in identity and access management world, the community is pretty connected, interconnected as well globally, and it will give you a big advantage if you can contribute and can speak about what you have been doing.
It's important to be visible, right? To be vocal.
Yes.
Ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can come to Diego and he will make a podcast with you on how what you are doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically, and if we're talking about people who want to develop themselves locally or globally anyway, just jump into identity and access management world, I would say you need to pick one platform, go deep there, make certifications, build something in real life, in production. And this is basically my advice to people who are lacking jobs to gain experience, gain production experience. First of all, you can make this production experience by freelance job. There are a lot of freelance platforms, so you can make some projects already in real, taking small pieces of job, not only full-time job. But as well, there are some vendors who are who are outsourcing or who are doing as well themselves this so-called support engineering, where you come and help the client, the vendor, to deal with problems and troubleshoot the problems of their client. And for me, it is really nice opportunity to grow, because you are dealing with real problems. You are solving real problems, and then you can really fast grow to the with the level with experience.
Before,
then,
please go ahead.
No, go for it. Sorry.
No. I was about to say that before we start this session, we were discussing about how different professionals from different IT areas can become AIM. Do you mind to give your perspective on that? Like developers,
Yeah, but I don't want to spoil reading my article and want to promote the second article, because basically I've done as well a big research on this, and we have under the hood of certain identity and access management vendors and providers certain development languages. For instance, if we're talking about that .NET engineers, you can easily jump to Omada, because Omada is under the hood built by .NET. As well with SailPoint, you can look into what technologies are used there, and then it will help you to understand what is running under the hood, how it's done. As well, cybersecurity, administration skills are really transferable, pretty easy. What else? Like Active Directory, our Active Directory is as well pretty used when you need to manage something on premise and then probably transfer it to cloud. Like there are so many things that you can transfer, but I don't want to spoil reading. Just go there, read this article. There are so many useful information about like what skills you can transfer.
I'm gonna put your article again here, just to remember the article one.
Right now again the second one right now.
The second one, and this one again. Yeah, and the bottom line message is the AIM market, the AIM sector has full space for everyone. So everyone that's willing to learn new things, would like to try a new career, welcome. Identity is here for everyone, right?
Yeah,
awesome.
I wanna can I as well add here something, just a small piece of advice. I want to say you need to learn not only when you need to go to identity and when to transfer to identity and start the career. In identity is there just constantly changing space. As I said, that when I started identity in 2022 and identity in 2026 is completely different things, just completely different things. And in order to be here, you need to stay curious, you need to stay sharp, you need to continue learning in the direction you are going, in the like platform you want to be proficient, to master. And the people who keep learning are the ones who will stay relevant on the market.
Awesome. So if anyone is looking for career device, identity, IAM service, please go and get in touch with you. I just put your LinkedIn URL right now here.
Thank you. But I already mentioned, and I already noticed that some of you already connected with me, some of their viewers, some of the audience, and I'm happy to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Katerina, thank you again. It was a really important session to bring your knowledge, to bring your expertise, and also to bring the data that you have been digging into, working hard to understand how this AIM sector works. And the Brazilian community really say thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you for inviting. It was a pleasure for me. It was fun. Thank you.
Okay. Hope to see you guys in Brazil. Okay.
Yeah, would love to.
Okay, amazing. Okay, let's keep in touch.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Ciao.